Why always close ones hurt you? Life has a way of teaching us the most valuable lessons through the people we allow closest to us. It's not that those closest to you intentionally set out to hurt you, but the nature of intimacy and proximity means that they hold a unique power over your heart. The more you open yourself up to someone, the more vulnerable you become. And vulnerability, as beautiful and necessary as it is for deep connection, often comes with the risk of being hurt. When you let someone in, they learn the intricacies of who you are. They see your insecurities, your dreams, your fears. They know your strengths, but also your weaknesses. And while most people never use those against you, sometimes hurt is inevitable. Those closest to us often have the best intentions, yet human beings are imperfect and mistakes happen. Misunderstandings arise. Words are said in the heat of a moment, or actions are taken that wound us. Not because someone intended to cause harm, but because they didn't realize how much their actions would impact you. Think about the people in your life who have hurt you the most. They're usually the ones who've shared your most meaningful moments. Friends you've trusted, family members you've grown up with, or a partner you've deeply loved. It's not strangers or acquaintances who have that kind of power over your emotions. Those wounds cut deep because you care, because you've invested parts of yourself into those relationships. The closer the bond, the higher the stakes. And when that bond is strained or broken, the pain reflects the depth of the connection. But here's the truth: this hurt, as painful as it may feel, is a testament to the importance of connection. You feel hurt because you care. You feel wounded because the relationship mattered to you. The capacity for someone to hurt you is the very same capacity that allows you to experience the fullness of joy, love, and companionship with them. If no one could hurt you, it would mean you were never fully open, never fully engaged in the beauty of a relationship. It's easy when hurt by those close to us to retreat behind walls, to pull back, and to decide that it's safer not to let anyone in. But that's not living. Closing yourself off to avoid pain also closes you off to love, growth, and connection. We must remember that pain and love are two sides of the same coin. If you want the joy, deep, meaningful relationships, there will be moments of discomfort, misunderstanding, and yes, even hurt. This isn't to say you should tolerate toxic relationships or continuous harm. It's important to protect your well-being and set healthy boundaries. But don't mistake normal relational bumps for reasons to shut down emotionally. The people closest to you will sometimes fail you, just as you might sometimes fail them. We're all navigating the complexities of life, and we will occasionally fall short. Forgiveness, empathy, and communication are crucial in maintaining close relationships, even in the face of hurt. It's in these moments of hurt that you also grow. Pain teaches you about yourself, about your capacity to love, to forgive, and to heal. It shows you what truly matters, what you're willing to fight for, and where your boundaries lie. The pain you feel isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of your heart's strength and its capacity for connection. The challenge is not to avoid hurt, but to learn how to navigate it, to embrace the lessons it offers, and to continue opening yourself up despite it. So when those closest to you hurt you, remember that it's a part of being human. It's a part of living a life full of deep relationships. Those moments of pain, while hard to bear, are not the end of your story. They are just chapters, moments in the larger narrative of love, growth, and connection. And in the end, it's the connections that matter most: the joy, the shared moments, the lessons learned. The pain, though real, is temporary, but the depth of love and connection lasts far longer. Let the heart remind you that you're alive, that you're capable of feeling deeply, and that you're brave enough to keep loving despite the risks. Keep moving forward, not in fear of being hurt again, but in the hope of experiencing the fullness of life and relationships. Trust that each time you are hurt, you are also growing stronger, wiser, more resilient. And in the end, it's this strength that allows you to continue loving and living with your whole heart. Life often hands us the most profound lessons through those we hold dearest. When someone close to you hurts you, the pain feels sharper, more profound, because they have access to the most intimate parts of your soul. You've shared your dreams, your fears, your most private thoughts, and in doing so, you've entrusted them with the parts of you that make you vulnerable. This vulnerability is at the heart of human connection, and while it is essential for the closeness we all crave, it also opens us up to the risk of being hurt. When someone knows you deeply, they know where your scars are, where you're most sensitive. They might not aim to cause harm, but sometimes intentionally, their words or actions strike exactly where you are most tender. They might be careless with your feelings, or perhaps they're dealing with their own issues and unintentionally project their pain onto you. Whatever the reason, the closer someone is, the greater their potential to hurt you, because you've allowed them into the most fragile areas of your heart. Think about it. When a stranger or someone you're not close to offends or hurts you, it stings, but it's manageable. You can brush it off, forget about it, or even if about it later. But when it comes from someone you love and trust, someone whose opinion truly matters to you, the wound cuts deeper. That's because you've invested emotional energy into that relationship. You've shared parts of yourself that you wouldn't with just anyone. And the idea that they could misunderstand or take advantage of your trust is devastating. And yet this is precisely what makes relationships so powerful. The people who can hurt you the most are also the ones who can bring you the greatest joy. The intensity of hurt is often directly proportional to the depth of love and connection. You care deeply for them, and that care makes you vulnerable. But isn't that vulnerability also what allows you to experience profound moments of love, joy, and companionship? Without vulnerability, you wouldn't experience the fullness of human connection. The same openness that allows pain also allows love to flow in. It's easy to attack if you just close yourself off. If you build walls around your house, that you will protect yourself from getting hurt. But that's not true protection, that's isolation. A life without pain is also a life without deep relationships, without love, without growth. The only way to avoid being hurt by someone close to you is to never let anyone in, to never form those bonds of trust, and that would mean missing out on the very things that make life meaningful. Relationships aren't supposed to be easy all the time. They come with challenges, understandings, and sometimes pain. But these challenges are what make them worth it. They force us to grow, to learn more about ourselves and others. When someone close to you hurts you, it's not necessarily a reflection of their character or their feelings toward you. It is often a reflection of their own imperfections, their own struggles. People are complex, and even those who love us the most can falter, make mistakes, or act out of their own pain. This is where empathy and forgiveness become crucial. When we're hurt by those we love, it's tempting to react with anger or to shut down emotionally. But true strength lies in understanding, in recognizing that they too are human, that they too are struggling with their own issues. This doesn't mean excusing toxic behavior or letting people walk all over you. But it does mean recognizing that hurt is often a two-way street. Sometimes we need to step back and ask ourselves if the hurt we feel is because of our own expectations, fears, or insecurities. There's a profound lesson in this. The people we care about are not perfect, just as we are not perfect. We all have our flaws, our moments of weakness. What matters is how we respond to the hurt. Do we allow it to harden us, to make us bitter and resentful? Or do we choose to see it as an opportunity for growth, both for ourselves and for our relationships? Do we choose to work through the pain to our most conversations, to seek understanding and ultimately to heal? It's also important to recognize that the hurt doesn't have to define the relationship. Just because someone hurts you doesn't mean the relationship is irreparably damaged. In fact, many of the strongest relationships are those that have weathered storms of pain and misunderstanding and come out stronger on the other side. Healing is possible, but it requires both people to be willing to do the work, to communicate openly, to apologize sincerely, and to forgive deeply. This doesn't mean you should tolerate consistent harm. If someone repeatedly hurts you without showing any effort to change, it's important to recognize when it's time to set boundaries or even walk away. Self-love and self-respect should always come first. But for those relationships that are worth saving, the ones where both parties are willing to grow and the pain can lead to an even deeper connection. In the end, pain is not the enemy. It's a teacher. It teaches us about our limits, our needs, and our capacity to love and forgive. It shows us what matters most to us and helps us prioritize the relationships that are worth fighting for. When those closest to you hurt you, they're also giving you an opportunity to deepen the relationship, to show grace, to practice patience, and to build resilience together. Every relationship is a journey, and sometimes that journey includes detours through pain. But those detours often lead to the most beautiful destinations. So don't fear the hurt that comes from those you love. It's a sign that you're alive, that you're fully engaged in the messy, beautiful experience of being human. Keep opening yourself up, keep loving deeply, and keep trusting that even through the hurt, you are growing stronger and wiser. And in the process, you'll find that the very people who hurt you are also the ones who help shape you into the person you're meant to become.